What's up, you guys? I have been working really hard to get caught up on the main reading list for the vlogs, and we're backtracking, and I've made it all the way back to February. And in the month of February, I wasn't the person I'm sitting here, or the person I am today sitting here, because as I'll continuously say and continuously bring up, or continually bring up, I was diagnosed with conversion disorder. I want to say the actual diagnosis probably was in February, not in January. But I believe my actual diagnosis was in February. And in February, I still was at the point where you probably wouldn't recognize me. My voice wasn't right. I wasn't walking right. I had tremors. Most days I couldn't. I was still on a walker, things like that. But I'm blessed and happy to say that is not the case right now. So this book really touched me, and during that time period, because it was filled with so much emotion and whatnot. But the book I'm talking about is We Are Immeasurable by McGrew, and this is her second book that she's written. I read her first book after I read the second book, and I was thoroughly impressed with the growth between the two books. But this one here just really touched me, because it relates the life of someone who, although I can't say that we had the same type of situation, because cancer is nothing compared to what I have. However, what I'm diagnosed with, I could potentially die from. So when you hear the statement "stress kills," it is true. It truly can kill you. I was on the pathway of deteriorating greatly, and I'm glad that I got that wake-up call, because the body is amazing, and it was wonderfully made, and to give you the warning signs that you need. But anywho, so We Are Immeasurable. I had 3 things that specifically spoke to my soul in regards to this book. Of course, it's a love story, and it was a love story between young people, high school age people, and Maisie, or Esmeralda, and Barnaby. Man, their love was just electric. It was awesome, like, just to see how it developed and how it changed and everything. I usually try not to give too much of the book, but I will definitely tell you it is a love story, and even for their age, because of course this is a YA book, but for their age, it was just so powerful, and the connection they had, and it's like, man, that's awesome. But I did enjoy that. But as far as what specifically spoke to my soul, there were 3 things. One is the power of books and literature. The second is the not to let a disability restrict your greatness. And the third thing was to focus on what you can control. Now, as you know, I have the book club, Words for the Soul, and the reason that I started the book club is because I had gotten back into reading, and I wanted to share my love of books with others. But I also wanted to be able to share what specifically spoke to my soul, and learn from it and grow from it, with the hopes that maybe they got that same thing too. And what's in regards to this particular book, Pride and Prejudice is mentioned by Jane Austen, and it was funny because I've been trying to read that book since before I went into the hospital, and I had even gotten it from the library 2 different times, and I'm just returning it after I had got it again in I want to say November. It was due back in December, and I just returned it maybe about a week or 2 ago, because I just couldn't finish it, whatever. But it's mentioned in there, and it was one of Maisie's favorite books, and Barnaby was like, it's trash, basically. But I mean, he said it in a different way, but it just showed the importance of how one person reading a book will get something totally different than what someone else gets. But when you share that perspective with them, perhaps you'll get them to open their mind to see your perspective as well, or why that stood out to you, or vice versa. So that's why it's so important for me to have this book club, for me to share my thoughts and to go on a deeper level, outside of my reviews, because I don't think reviews should be full spoilers. I think you should still leave something for the reader to want to read if they use reviews as a basis to read other, to decide to read that book. But I'm using this platform to say specifically within each book what it is that spoke to my soul and why it spoke to my soul. So that just showed me the power of books and literature, how everyone gets something different out of it, and it's important to share what you get out of it so that maybe you can make a difference in somebody's life, and expose them to something that they probably would have never even considered had it not been for you giving your thoughts. So that was very important to me. And then the second thing was in regards to disability. It doesn't restrict your personal greatness, and that's something that Maisie tried to fight for all the time. That was the main reason that she ended up going to a regular high school versus a special school, especially for the blind, because she knew the real world wasn't going to be catering to her or to her disability. Although I know there are accessibility laws and things like that in place to help people. However, even with those, I don't think that it should restrict you on what you choose to do in life. If you, whatever you put your mind to do, just try to do it and not let that be the, what's holding you back. With Maisie, she wanted to be a writer, so she could have let her disability prevent that from happening, but she didn't. And I think that, even within myself, I could say, what if I'm having a bad day or a bad week and my voice isn't right, or I'm not talking right, or whatever else, I still can share my love of books with others, or show them how I can overcome these obstacles and still be the great, a better Tracy. Even when I'm having an episode, like, what my husband and I call them. So, don't let disability stop you from doing anything that you want to do. If you put your mind to it, you should be able to accomplish it, even if it comes with difficulties. I've been reading so many different books, and if greatness was easy to attain, no one would try to do it. It's too easy. That's the point of it being great. But the final thing, as I stated, was to focus on what you can control. And there are so many different things going on with Maisie, even with Barnaby, and just trying to figure out this thing called life as a 17, almost 18-year-old. And there are difficulties that are going to come up, but we have to understand all you can control is yourself. You can't control how other people feel, how they react to situations, because everyone's going through their own things. So focus on what you can control, and ultimately that's your mindset. If you are going to be negative, you'll probably follow the negative course. But if you choose to be positive, you're going to follow the positive course, because we're all going to have to, we're going to come to roadblocks. Now, either you're going to stop, or you're going to find a way to re-navigate and take that detour to still get to the ultimate goal. But that's up to you individually to do. So focus on what you can control. Everyone's going to have things come up, and once you learn to accept that, then you can function better in life. Life is really about preparation, because we all know no one has the perfect life. No one is perfect. You're always going to have something to come up. So it's up to you to work around those obstacles, and just focus on, again, what you can control. A lot of times Maisie always went back to the just breathe. Sometimes that's all you need to do, is take that nice deep breath, let it go. So I absolutely love this book. I swear I cried. I have highlights, I have notes written. If you go to the Facebook page, you'll see I had a lot of posts on this, because she just spoke to me on so many levels in this book. And I thank BL for sharing this gem with us, because that's what it truly is. This here, what topped as my favorite read of the year, and it's still at that level. So pick this one up. It's a great read. Now, as you know, I've been trying to get caught up, so some of these, videos are coming. I did the most recent, and I'm backtracking. So the next video that I have left to catch up on will be the January read, which was the War Report series by King Benjamin. He also was on our list last year with the book that he co-wrote with Blackbird record label, Romance 1 and 2. So I wanted a series on the reading list this year, and I kicked it off with King Benjamin with his War Report series because he was recently releasing the third installment in that book series. So that's why I went ahead and put him on there. So that will be the next video you'll be seeing soon. So as always, happy reading, and I will hope to see you soon. Check you guys later. Peace.